Hey everybody, welcome to the Wither Effect. Today is episode 4 on July 8th, 2019. I am Duds, also known as Duds Versus in most media circles.
And I am Bankaardappel, or Bank for short, and today we have a special guest with us to talk about some Minecraft. Welcome, Carl. Nice of you to get withered with us. What have you been up to this week, Carl?
Well, this week I have been very busy on the Ripple Effect server. I've been sorting out the buildings and the redstone over at our new Capture the Flag PvP area that E. Schrodinger's cat is beautifully landscaping for us as I speak. And I've also been building up my 4-module iron farm that's going to be in my next video. And you don't want to miss that because I kill a lot of villagers and a lot of zombies trying to build up that farm. And that's what I'll be working on this week.
Yeah, and from what I can tell from the pictures, trying to crash the server.
Oh yeah, I literally logged in yesterday, and there was just iron golems everywhere, and I don't understand why. Because my base wasn't loaded. I'd literally logged off, and there was no golems, and I logged in, and there was like 50 just around the farm. It was mental.
Yeah. This week, I've been doing a lot of base work. I don't think I've left the base in like 2 weeks or whatever, but it was actually the beginning of my multiple streams a week and kind of skipping an episode week, and it's been working out pretty well. I've enjoyed it. I've been bouncing around from project to project, which is something I don't normally do, but I've enjoyed that. Plus, I'm closing in on 500 followers on Mixer. I think I'm like 8 away. So that's really nice. What about you, Bank?
I had quite a busy week in real life, yet again. I had like one work day of 12 hours, which was insane. But now I got the vacation, so I should have a lot more time. I did work around my base a little bit, just a bit of decoration, just like last week. But now that it's vacation, I might set up stream and get that going a little bit, see how that works out.
Thank you, streams.
No big promises yet, but you know, I should have the time, so that could be fun. That's pretty much
Bank
it.
Better Stream.
Yeah. I'll announce it on Twitter and that kind of stuff when I get ready to it.
Do it, Bang! Do it now.
Well, not right now, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get into the Minecraft news because it's light news, technically, compared to what we're used to. So pre-release 2 for 1.14.4 has come out. This release, we're just going to do the big heavy hitter bug fixes and stuff. Villagers now stock more items. Villagers will now remember their gossip after becoming a zombie villager. Improved performance of villager pathfinding. Villagers can now work without also restocking at the same time. Gossip about players who converted a zombie villager will now last longer, and player activity button on the realm screen has been removed. Thoughts?
Not particularly.
Yeah, improved performance of villager pathfinding is the one I'm kind of like, yay, because I planned on building a better trading hall in my base, and I saw that was giving a little bit of a pain to a lot of players.
Oh yes, that is a big problem. When I set
up, this thing got fixed. Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
When I set up my villager trading hall, I find that the villagers will like literally lock on to workstations on the other side of the trading hall. I had to go around and put double carpet in and let them all out when it's work time to move about and stuff. It was so annoying, so I'm glad they fixed that one.
Yeah.
Well, that does sound like a nice fix indeed.
I don't think any of us here play Realm, so that's just another fix that we're not too worried about. The gossip lasting longer will be nice, but I don't even really know the original time frame it lasts.
I haven't really played around with the villagers yet in 1.14, so it's all... I haven't really looked into all that stuff yet, so it's pretty news to me altogether.
Yeah. What about you, Carl? You said something about villagers now stock more items?
Yeah, just on that zombie villager thing for a minute. I didn't realise there was a time limit on it. So that's interesting that there is, because I cured a zombie villager and then got him to talk to all my guys and wondered why some of them didn't, go down in trade price. So it's good that it's now longer on that one. Going back to, as you say, the stock more items. I watched a video by DocM77 who showed that at this current pre-release anyway, it's only villagers that are created in 1.14.4 that get the bump trades. If you have villagers that are from 1.14.3 or 1.14.2 or even 1.13, then they don't actually get that bump. They stay the same as they did in the previous version.
And I could see that. I mean, it's hard to, back program a villager that's already been created and had his trades locked and things like that. So I wouldn't expect that to be technically fixed for 1.14.4. I kind of assume that's just the way villagers will be moving forward.
Yeah, most probably. I would have thought it was like some underlying coding for the villagers that it would do it, but it seems, as you say, that it's per villager, and I think that goes back to when they added the 1.14 villagers and they needed a way to separate them from the 1.13 villagers. I think that's where that code comes in, and that's why it's separate between the versions.
Yeah, gotcha. Also, we have a Ask Mojang video series. I know nothing of this. What do you guys know?
I also know nothing, but it sounds like they're gonna do a video series themselves where they answer questions or something.
Yeah, I think Mojang has been criticised for not being very transparent, especially with the 1.14 release and how badly that went, and them not really saying much about it. And I think this is their kind of way of putting that right, is to ask for questions using the Ask Mojang hashtag and taking questions from the community and actually answering it themselves in a video series. And I think that's kind of their way of getting back with the community after 1.14's main release.
Okay. Hashtag Ask Mojang. Have you listened to episode 3 of the podcast? Take anything from episode 3 to improve Minecraft and just use it. You have our permission. Though I would like a Duds Easter egg in there somewhere.
That's a good one.
Dude, last podcast, I thought we did a lot of great work in how we would improve.
Yeah, we came up with a lot of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially those fireflies. They still stick there.
I know, right? I would love some fireflies.
Mm.
There was some really good ideas in that podcast. It was brilliant. The creativity you guys were coming up with last week was just brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Telling you, Minecraft geniuses right here.
We should do that more often, I guess, coming up with ideas for Minecraft.
We should. That should be like a monthly podcast in itself.
Or we just take
New
ideas for a certain aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. I told Bank one before we started the stream, or this podcast, and I'm thinking about making it next week's podcast title.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. But we do have some listener comments to move on to. And Carl, this is all you written all over it, so I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah, it's a lot of my stuff in the first section here.
Welcome to the Withered.
This past Sunday, the 7th of July, was the Ripple Effect's birthday. Well, one the other day. And as a celebration of that, over the next 12 days from the date we're recording this, there will be images on our social media channels, which are in the show notes, showing off some of the great builds from the server. So we've got our End Island coming up, we've got the Nether Hub coming up, we have the Witch Farms, which are amazing. So make sure you follow us on social media to see some of those pictures up there. And that's all leading to a stream day that we're looking to have on the 20th of July. We haven't confirmed any times yet, but I'm sure you guys will have some information on that in next week's podcast.
Yes, I can't wait. I love stream days. Those are really fun. We should definitely be doing a lot more of them.
Definitely.
Yeah, maybe I'll be streaming separately this time as well.
Oh, big
Who
screen.
knows?
Maybe we should get you on the 20th bank.
Yeah, that's a stream day, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's bank confirmed for the stream day, ladies and gentlemen. Confirmed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay, but let's go ahead and start moving on to some of our main topics of this podcast. So, the way we've done it this week is a little bit different. Each one of us has come up with a topic we're going to talk about. So, my topic this week is called So You Want to Play Minecraft? Minecraft has really come around and become a huge whirlwind again after being basically dormant for, I want to say, 3 years. Kind of one of those games that, yeah, people are playing it, but it's not all over the place. And then all of a sudden now you have these really large YouTubers and Twitch streamers coming back to Minecraft. What started that, I don't know. But I'm sitting here and I'm watching some of these guys, and they are struggling in the game. And I mean, like, what I would consider basic day one items. Like, I don't know, they find a zombie spawner, and they have no clue what to do with it, so they just break it. And I'm just sitting there staring at the screen going, what are you doing? Just little things like that. And so this topic was like, if you could talk to these guys and tell them how you learned to play, what would it be? Like, for me, the way I learned to play Minecraft was watching a ton of Let's Players on YouTubes and stream. And you got to try the different platforms. Don't just do YouTube. Don't just do Twitch. Go to Mixer also. You got to have guys all over the place because everybody plays differently. And you need to find, I don't know, how you want to play. And find someone who's playing a lot like you. And kind of, I wouldn't say copy, but let that be your inspiration. The other thing is you also got to know who's a troll and who's not a troll. Because I watch guys, I don't know, day after day, donate $5 and say, hey, if you have Silk Touch on your pickaxe, you can Silk Touch that spawner. And it's like, no, he's playing vanilla. You know he's playing vanilla because it's in the title. And you just tricked him into breaking a spawner for $5. Not cool. What about you, Bank? How did you learn to play Minecraft?
Well, that was definitely an interesting experience because, well, I played a lot of games, and it took a while before I started on Minecraft. Mm-hmm. And one thing I definitely never did was look up on how to play a game. I would just play it and I'd figure it out, and usually you get a tutorial which you can do first. But with Minecraft, I was in the game and it's like, what? I don't know nothing. They explain nothing at all.
Yeah, they just kind of shove you in the deep end.
Yeah, so I had to Google stuff, which then led me to the Minecraft wiki, which was and still is an amazing resource, I think. Mm-hmm. And that they have like little videos and stuff, which then led me to YouTube, where I found obviously YouTubers who helped me along, and all that sort of guided me. But it was a strange sort of experience because you basically had to Google how to play the game, which was interesting. And they came a long way from there, because now they have like sort of a tutorial and the crafting book that gives you just all the, crafting recipes. You don't have to Google those, which is nice.
And going back to seeing some of these guys come back, the fact that they see that little green book in that crafting menu and they don't know to open it, and then when they do, like, the little light bulb pops up above their head and saying, oh, so that's what this does, I can do all these things now. And then they find out that the red shaded box means you can't do that right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's still not perfect, like you said. They still have to figure out how to open the crafting book and stuff, but it's so much better than it used to be.
It really is.
What about you, Carl? How's it for you?
When I first got into Minecraft, it was kind of by accident. I was so long ago now, but I was on YouTube and I came across Stampy Longnose's videos on Stampy's Lovely World. If either of you have ever watched any of those, And then from there, I found Mumbo and the Hermitcraft group, and then came across Sin, and that's how I got onto the Ripple Effect. Well, it was Late Lao Guy at the time, and then we moved over to the Ripple Effect. In terms of how I went about finding out things, as you say, back then we didn't have the crafting book, and as someone who played Minecraft without it, when they added it, I was a little bit like, I don't know if I like this or not, because I kind of enjoyed the finding things out rather than looking it up. But when I did need to look it up, obviously, as you say, the wiki, tutorials, let's plays are definitely the way to go. And that's where content creators come in, as you were saying. And that's where, people like us come in, and the podcast and things like that as well, to kind of help people along in that journey. And that's kind of how I got started in Minecraft.
I'm thinking for like a good podcast topic might be day one Minecraft. What do you do? Like, that could be a fun topic.
Definitely.
To kind of cover. A beginning tutorial. You listen to us for an hour talk, and we'll get you through day one, no problem.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
We'll have to throw that in our ideas list.
Yeah.
All right, but Benk, I think your topic's up next. What you got?
So I'm quite a minimal kind of guy, I guess, in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
So my base doesn't have that much usually, and that gave me an idea. Like, what's in your essential Minecraft base? Because for me, it's pretty much an ender chest and a bed, and then I could be done. I mean, a few chests would be nice, but I don't need that many because my ender chest is basically my storage usually. And then for the rest, I can gather things quite quickly. It's not too much work, I think.
So basically, you're saying you live in a tent.
Pretty much. I mean, I build bigger things just to sort of, for the fun of building it, right? And decoration and that kind of stuff. But I don't need that much as actual essential stuff. As well, normally I play on a server, so you're kind of spoiled for farms, right? Normally people do build. And then I've built one or two, but, you can share a lot, which is awesome. If I wouldn't play on a server, though, I definitely have some kind of food farm and like an iron farm. Those are definitely kind of essential things to have. Yeah, I was curious, what do you guys, because I know you guys are a bit more elaborate on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm really elaborate when it comes to that stuff. So a storage room is basically the first room I build in a base. Once I have the general shape of a base I want to build, which is usually inside of a mountain. If anybody's watched any of my videos for any amount of time, I'm inside a mountain.
Yep.
Yep. And the way I do the storage room is I like to have the blocks kind of laid out in front of me. So even if it's not every individual block, I want to see the plank versions of the woods so I can get color palettes, and I'll put stone blocks near stone blocks or craftable blocks near craftable blocks and dyes near like wools and concrete and stuff like that. Because there's many times I'll sit there like, okay, I want to build this room. I need a pallet. So I just go and stand in front of my storage section and stare. And it's like 15 minutes of my guy not moving, but he's just looking at my storage room. But that's how I create pallets. So the storage room is just a super essential room for me. And I mean, that's where you have the auto furnace. I've got trash cans built in there. I usually have some kind of overflow storage built in. Stuff like that. Now, when it goes on to building farms, I love building farms, but I'm always super conscious of server lag. So all my farms are relatively on a small scale, and that's because I sit for 15 minutes in front of my storage room looking at my pallets. So the farms are just kind of always running in the background. They're not really doing a lot of cause. I'm not going to get a double chest of items in an hour. Not a single one of my farms can do that. It's just the way I built. I mean, I built a kelp farm that is... I've already filled up 3 shulker boxes full of dried kelp blocks. And it's like, at this point, do I just go ahead and start throwing these things away? Because obviously I don't need any more. I'm probably good all season. Same with my wool farm. I built a wool farm a couple episodes ago. Well, their double chests are practically full now, so I'm going around and I'm shutting the wool farms off. It's just, I don't believe in large-scale farms unless they're community-wise. And so I'll design my base around tiny farms. Heck, I built a single-cell iron farm for the first time in this base because we weren't going to have a large-scale iron farm for a while. But then Magoo and Carlock built a giant iron farm and we're giving it away. But that's different. Plus, I just started building aesthetically in my base. Usually, if it wasn't functional, I didn't build it. And this is kind of the first season I'm pushing into the aesthetic ideas of an essential Minecraft build. What about you, Carl?
So, in terms of storage, most things I keep in my ender chest, a lot like Bank, but I have like a color-coded and numbered system that's based on Exuma Void system, and I've kind of like improved it from my point of view, and there's a video of that on my YouTube channel. And I basically keep everything in there, from my diamonds right through to every kind of wood, every wool, concrete, terracotta, everything in there. And that's so if I go to an area and want to build something, I can grab a few shulker boxes out of there and, as you say, put up a colour palette of blocks, open them up, have a look through, see what goes with what. And then if I need more resources, I'll go back to my base, where I usually use manual storage systems. I get quite sort of a therapeutic feeling from tidying and organising things into chests, just like I do in real life, really. Kind of like organising stuff is really, is really good for me. And that's what I like to do in Minecraft as well. So I'm not a massive fan, personally, of automated storage systems. They're good for, like, bulk blocks, like dirt and cobble and stone and all that kind of stuff. But for every other item, I personally like to sort of do it manually. It's kind of something I like to do. In terms of farms, again, like I like small farms as well that run sort of all the time in my base, rather than massive farms that I run every now and again and lag the server to death. And then in terms of... so they give me a constant stream of items then, instead of having a big harvest all at once. Like you were saying with your wool farm, I'm having the exact same problem with mine. I now have double chests and shulker boxes full of purple wool. And you know what? I don't need any purple wool. That's the worst thing about it. Going from this kind of situation in 1.13 where wool was one of the hardest things to come across because it was a manual farm. Yes, you could set up some kind of AFK system for it, but it was, it was a manual farm in its essence. And to come into 1.14 and having that all automated now, just shows you kind of the kind of progress that Minecraft is coming into with automation. And it means that now we can build anything out of wool, where before it was really hard to get. We've now got an abundance of it. And that's kind of how I got into Minecraft and what I like to do with my base and stuff.
Yeah, I would love to see them take more automation steps. Like, the wool farm was completely out of left field when I saw 1.14. And I want more of that. And thanks to my neighbor who decided to mow his yard at this random time of day. And I don't have a big yard, so he is literally like right outside my wall. So if you guys can hear that in the background of the podcast, say, "Thanks, Jerry." It's all his fault.
Thanks, Jerry.
His name is Jerry. That's awesome.
His name is Jerry.
So I immediately picture that dude from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, he doesn't look like that, but it kind of feels like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's doing it because I heard his wife yelling at him when I pulled into the driveway this afternoon. So
it's one of those moments. Poor guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going to the topic. I I noticed something which I hadn't really noticed before, but we all seem to have sort of similar build style. Like you like to look through the blocks to create sort of a palette, and you like to stand in your storage room and create a palette and then start building, I guess.
Yep.
And myself, and I guess that's why I keep like my ender chest as a storage. Like I like to have the surrounding and the build itself sort of create the palette. So I'd like to have all those blocks around and being able to look at it, just like Carl said. It's just kind of interesting that the way you kind of build stuff makes how you do your storage. Because storage has always it's always a big discussion in Minecraft on how you do it. And there's so many ways on how you can do it. And this sort of gives an extra interesting insight into it, like why people choose certain types of storages.
Yeah, I mean, for this season, I really thought about how I get ready for a project. How do I go build something? And I have found the way I normally do things is I grab a bunch of random blocks, fill shulkers full of blocks, go build something, come back, and now I have these shulker boxes full of random blocks. So the way this season is, I would say I'm having an automated storage system. I don't care if it breaks every month, which it basically does because I'm stupid. I will not blame the automated storage system. It works just fine when I'm not stupid. But yeah, I could literally just throw a bunch of shulker boxes into this shulker crusher thing I came up with, a shulker box unloader per se, and it just runs automatically through the system. It puts everything back nice and neat. Everything is exactly where I know it's going to be because the automated machine does it. Now, the downfall is if I have 2 full shulker boxes that I need to run through this machine, I better be prepared to sit there for 30 minutes to let it work.
Ooh.
And that sometimes stinks, but a lot of times I found at the end of a project and doing it, I'll just throw my shulker boxes into the machine and I start editing the clips and stuff I've done. And it generally works out pretty well to line up when I'm done editing. The machine's done. So I've really enjoyed my setup. I think every season from now on, I will have some form of this setup going forward.
All right. I mean, yeah, that's kind of... so you clean up your boxes. I like to keep them around for a bit with all the random stuff in it, as it were. Because if I want to continue building in that same area on the same thing, or if I want to adjust it or whatever, I still have the building blocks. Mm-hmm. And usually if you're going to build near it, you're going to use the same kind of stuff anyway. So I always... The more I sort of build at a place, the more I get like a specified box for it.
Yeah.
And then when I'm really done, I'll clean it up or I'll put the box somewhere else or whatever.
Yeah, and I found I've done that a lot with outside my castle. Exactly what you were saying is because out front of the keep is just a constant, well, I'm going to spend 30 minutes redoing some landscapes, or I'm going to build a quick little house, or I'm going to do some lighting effects, maybe build a custom tree. So I do have boxes spread out in that region. But that's right in front of the base, and to me that's still kind of inside area. So I'm not really counting that.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess the further you go, or the less of a storage you got, you don't want to run up and down all the time, right?
But I do that, and it keeps Marlowe's Rocket Shop in business, because I'm pretty sure I buy him out of rockets all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's... I mean, even though I got this system, I still travel around a lot within my base, and I do buy my fair share of rockets as well.
Yeah. Well, I think I went this last month without really buying any rockets, because you basically couldn't fly in the nether.
No, it was awful.
Yeah,
so awful. Just flying into unloaded chunks and just like seeing pigment and lava and just being stuck there and wondering whether you could plummet into the lava or whether it's actually going to load was one of the most freaky things ever. And being able to fly now is really good.
I was pretty sure they were supposed to fix chunk loading. And I'm pretty sure I remember them saying, "Oh yeah, choke loading's fixed," and that's why we updated. And it's just as bad as it was.
I think it's 1.14.3 is slightly better in the Never for me anyway. But yeah, the chunk loading in the overworld sometimes is really bad still, and it's something that I'm sure they're still working on it now with 1.14.4. These updates are coming thick and fast now. I think they realise that they've got a lot of issues with the new rendering engines and the new lighting engines that they implemented in 1.14, and I think all of these kind of problems will be fixed properly eventually.
Yeah, and I think that's why it helps that a lot of these big name YouTubers and streamers are coming back to Minecraft, because the light is on Mojang. It's like, hey, fix your stuff. There's a lot of people looking at your game right now. They don't want to see a bugged out version of it.
Yeah, the amount of bad PR they got from Hermitcraft over the initial release of 1.14 was just astronomical. The amount of videos that were coming out from that group, and millions of people watch Hermitcraft, and seeing the game from that point of view cannot be good for sales and for people wanting to try Minecraft again. So I think they really know that they need to get on it with this.
Yeah, for sure. And let's not forget that, what was it, at 113 Minecon, or the first Minecraft Earth that's now not Minecraft Earth, that's now Minecon Live, who knows? They promised 2 releases every year.
Did you really believe that, Dodds? Did you really believe that?
No, I didn't believe it at all. But that's what they promised, and I went, yeah, right. And here we are. We get 1 release a year, and it's extremely buggy, and Mojang needs to step it up.
I mean, going on the thing of they get a lot of light on them, and even though the bad negativity, I heard on the radio the other day that apparently Minecraft passed Fortnite again.
Yep.
So there's definitely a big increase in players on Minecraft again. Which is kind of cool, but yeah, they gotta fix their stuff.
Yeah, I love that Minecraft's getting all this publicity, because I still think it's the best game out there. Granted, there's games that do stuff better, but in an all-around package, you can't do as much in other games as you can do in Minecraft.
Definitely, yeah. And kind of the community aspect of Minecraft, we, as a group, the Ripple Effect, we could be playing any game, but we choose to play Minecraft, and we all get on so well, and it's brought us all together from right across the world, from the USA to Europe to Australia. It's brought all of us together, and we're all great friends, and that has happened because of Minecraft, and that's something very powerful that not a lot of games can claim.
Yeah, well put.
I think this perfectly is going to lead us into the next topic, and that is the future of Minecraft Java. Carl, this is all yours, so take it away.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking about this when Bedrock came out, and since Minecraft was bought by Microsoft in 2014, with the introduction of the Bedrock Edition for Windows 10 mobile and console, they've kind of gone to this kind of area now where they're starting to sell things, and with mashup packs and resource packs, and it's all tied to Xbox and Microsoft platforms. And with Bedrock not being available on Mac, not being available on Linux, I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on the future of Java and where you see that coming. I'm not talking about 1.15 or even 1.16, but kind of like where it goes in the future. Do you think that Microsoft will keep Java around long term? Do you think that they'll bring these stores to Java, or do you think they're going to treat them as separate entities forever?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in because that lines up perfect with my thought. So, about keeping Java around, I think it's a race right now. I think it's a race between Java and Bedrock, which I think is C++, on which one can include all the features and run at the highest performance possible. C++ runs right now at a way better performance, but it can't do the extendedly huge worlds Java can. It doesn't have all the features, like the left hand isn't fully there for them. They can't even do shields because of this. And I think Java, as long as it can keep ahead in the features and keep its performance increasing, it's going to stay around. But the second the Bedrock version takes over Java and performance and features, I think you'll see the main version of Minecraft switch to the C++ version, which I will be okay with if they keep to the heart of the way the Java works, as it's kind of the experimental ground. It's letting people do mods themselves. It's letting the community push the game forward. Because let's face it, Mojang really does pay attention to the modded community to get their next newest features. I don't know how many times I saw villager trading and villager upgrades the year leading up to 1.14, and then bam, there's 1.14. Heck, Tango Tech was designing new villagers the months leading up to 1.14, and sure enough, it felt like at one point Mojang was just copying his mod. So I want to know just how far is the community pushing Mojang, or are they sneakily smarter than all of us and planning these things year in advance? But as long as Java can continue to push forward, and they really just need to focus on their performance, the community will show them where they need to go creatively. They will stick with Java. But the second Bedrock overtakes them in features, Bedrock will take over. They'll ditch Java.
Which will be a problem for, C++.
Everyone.
Well, yeah, but C++ runs on Windows, fine. But the reason Java was, I don't know this for sure, but I would guess the reason Java was chosen originally was because it was cross-platform. And
yes,
to limit it to Windows, you guys know this, but the audience probably don't. I'm a Mac user, and them trying to keep it Windows only concerns me. There's rumors that Minecraft Dungeons will be Bedrock powered, so it will be Windows only. It won't be Mac or Linux, and that kind of rubs me up the wrong way a little bit. We'll have to see whether they actually do that or whether they do make it cross-platform. But I think to kind of the community aspect of Minecraft, of including everyone, I think is very important. And I think to limit the platforms that Minecraft can be played on is heading in the wrong direction.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's something they'll let happen. I think for Bedrock to take over Java, it's got to be able to do Macs. It's got to be able to do Linux, because there are still people who play with Linux. And Dungeons, it's running like the Unreal 4 engine, which is a huge gaming platform. So I'm sure it's going to be able to do Mac, even if it's just a port over.
Yeah.
I think they're just slow on announcing it, because porting something over to Mac is probably the last step for them to do it. It might be like a month after it's released or something, but I'm sure it's going to be coming to Mac.
I hope so, because I hope there's going to be some multiplayer involved in Dungeons as well, because I think our group playing in Dungeons together would be really cool as well.
Yeah, I got to get my ninja on.
So there's a lot of interesting things being said. As for Java and C++ and Mac, I'm not actually sure on how Mac is programmed and all that, which is weird. I kind of should know. But Java and C++ are like equals. Java is once created to replace C. It works slightly different. They're equal in quality, which might be the reason why they once started making it in Java, because I probably could go either way for the PC industry.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when it comes to Bedrock and the Java version, I remember us having or me and Dutz having a conversation about this like long time ago. And I remember saying that one thing I think makes Java work so well. I mean, a big part of the community is like the Redstoners and the technical guys, right?
Yep.
And Java does sort of create the weird kind of bugs that aren't bugs that we like to use within Redstone. Take the butt powered, for example. It's a bug. It's not supposed to happen, but it's something that happens, and that we're happy to work with. We kind of use it. A lot of the farms are sort of based on those kind of little glitches and stuff. Mm-hmm. Bedrock always seemed too streamlined to have those kind of things. So, unless they sort of lose their perfection, I guess, it's gonna be hard for them to surpass the Java version of Minecraft. Also, like you said, modded is such a important part of Minecraft, and in a lot of games actually. A nice example: Skyrim lasts really long already, mainly because of their like modded community as well. I don't think Minecraft will or Mojang will step aside from that. They would really rub against their community, I guess.
Yeah.
So for that, I think the Java version is at least safe for a long time. You said that when Bedrock Edition is gonna get more features than Java, they might run risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could be right. I'm not sure. It's really tricky because they gotta stick true to Java Minecraft, I guess. That's the Minecraft probably most people know and like.
Yeah, and my theory is that this isn't going to happen for a long time. I still think the Bedrock version is a ways behind. But when I started playing Bedrock was like 3 years ago when 1.8 Minecraft for Java just came out. I remember I had one door. I could have a wooden door, and that was it. And I remember looking over in Java going, wait, you can have like 6 different doors? And I literally bought a $450 PC to build. Built my PC just so I could play Java Minecraft and have 6 doors compared to the one. And now you look at Bedrock and it's almost neck and neck with the Java edition, but they're still just, especially the not infinite world. To me, that's what's going to hold Bedrock back, is the fact that they can't have the world sizes Java has. And Java is made to just keep going and going and going and going. I don't see it happening for a long, long time. But that's one of the big features Bedrock would have to fix for it to even have the slightest chance of dethroning Java.
I think that's gonna be a problem for Mojang to solve as well. I think they're fully aware of that issue. Like, Bedrock and Java aren't the same. They're getting closer and closer to each other, and it seems like they're working towards merging. But I think Mojang knows very well that they can't get rid of one of the two. They gotta keep.
Yeah.
Like, you can't merge it and keep both parties happy, and both parties are so big that you can't lose one. They have something to work out. But I'm not too afraid that they'll mess things up too badly, because they'll lose such a big player base if they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even when I was talking earlier, Minecraft was kind of in the bottom dwelling popular games list for a while. It still was a huge game. Like, it wasn't like there was maybe 1,000 people playing online at a time. There were still millions of people playing this game on a daily basis.
Well, it's a really accessible game, right? It's quite a cheap game. It's like, what, $20 or €20, that kind of. Yeah. It's fairly cheap. You don't need a really strong PC to run it. Like, you can run this fine on like a 10-year-old laptop. Well, fine is maybe a big word, but you can run it. I mean, you can play the game if you want to. You know, it's so accessible, which is great for like kids, obviously, but I think also for adults, anyone really. Yeah, I think it'll be good for the future of Java for now. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think hang on, Carl. I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna let you finish out your topic. But I think the Microsoft purchase could only have helped Mojang, and just by the fact it gave them a bigger ladder to stand on. Because I think Microsoft understands Mojang's in full control, and they're letting Mojang have the reins. They're just like, hey, here's a bar. Can you hit that bar? And Mojang's like, well, we can do this. And Microsoft just goes, here's some money. Find a way to get there.
Well, not to forget the experience and knowledge Microsoft has and can share with Mojang. Like, they can teach Mojang a lot about, well, the technology, right?
I mean, Microsoft's still a giant company, and they're going to find ways to make money, such as what Carl was saying, the Xbox Store, where they're charging for skins and maps and stuff like that. To me, that's all well and good, because those are optional things. If you don't want them, you don't have to buy them. And Minecraft is such a, you want it, you can build it game. So as long as they don't put important things behind paywalls, I'm okay with stuff like that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're a company and they need to make money. And as you say, as long as it's optional, that's perfectly fine. And I think Microsoft are smart enough to know that they need to keep the player base happy, and if that means keeping Java around, then that's probably what they'll do. And, you know, they might add a few stores to it. They might add these mashup packs that are optional that they have in Bedrock and bring those over to Java and do that kind of thing. But yeah, like you say, as long as they're optional, I think that's perfectly fine. They need to make money on was it $2 billion they spent on Minecraft? So yeah, they need to recoup some of that somewhere. And like you were saying, it's a very cheap game to start with. You know, it's £20, $20, and for what you get for that is amazing. You know, you can see games that aren't half as, you know, the longevity of them isn't as much as Minecraft, and they're $50-$60, you know, £50-$60, and you just get so much for the price. It's awesome. And when you were saying about being able to run it on anything, I have a server, my own personal Minecraft server that I play on with some of my friends, and that's actually hosted on a Raspberry Pi in my room, and it works perfectly fine. So running on that little processor and that little amount of RAM, it is quite astonishing that the game can run on something so underpowered, I think you'd probably say. But yeah, it's an amazing game.
Yeah. It's I bought this game for $25 3 years ago. I haven't had to put a dime into the game since then, and it's been my daily driver game for 3 years. Like, I think at most I've maybe not played it for a month or two in 3 years. So the fact that I'm not having to constantly pay, I remember buying NFL Madden every year, and it got to the point where it was just a roster update, and now I'm over here playing Minecraft where I spent $20 and I'm getting free updates on a yearly basis that just are constantly expanding the game massively.
Yeah.
You can't find that anywhere else in most AAA games.
Well, not to mention they don't really have a steady stream of income. Well, they're starting to get it now, which is, I guess, why all the little transactions get in there. But up until now, they did it by people just buying a copy of the game, and that's it. And they've been able to update it really a lot. I mean, if I compare this to, well, other games, the only one I can think of is Skyrim. And for the rest, you had things like World of Warcraft that last as long, maybe a bit longer. But they need like a monthly payment, right, to get all the services running and to keep it running and all that.
Yeah.
Microsoft didn't need it, well, until now. And I guess that's another thing. The little transactions they do in the Bedrock edition, which is luckily away from me, they're obviously there to help improve all aspects of the rest of the game. So it's sort of a bonus for us that they do it, although it looks a bit terrifying maybe.
Well, I mean, you look at a new, younger kid, let's say a middle school kid's picked up Minecraft. He wants to play Minecraft with his friends, so his friends bought Minecraft. Well, now they need a server to play on. Servers aren't easy to set up on your own, so Minecraft gives you the option for a realm, which is straight up Mojang saying, here's what you need to play Minecraft. Just play. Don't worry about anything else. And stuff like that is awesome. Not to mention loading custom skins on Java Edition. While it's not super hard, but someone who doesn't know how to work that system might just go, wait, I have to go to some random third-party website to create my own skin, but I really want a skin that just looks like this. Well, the Bedrock version has a skin that looks just like this in a store, and I can pay $2 or whatever it is for the skin, and now I get to play as my favorite movie character. So stuff like that is really cool to me.
Yeah, kind of making it more accessible and making it so new players can jump straight in and get the skin and get a mod pack or get a mashup pack like the new Toy Story 4 one that they just did. And kind of having that kind of ability without having to mess around with server files and, you know, all these different skin designers and things like that. For a group like us, setting up servers and doing all the kind of admin-y stuff in the background, which is a lot more work than people would imagine. I've been doing a lot of it over the last few days. And, just taking all that burden away from people and putting it onto Mojang and saying, for this amount of money a month, we'll sort all that for you, I think has really helped them to get to the position that they are now as the world's best-selling game.
For sure. But I think we're going to wrap it up there. Bank, do you want to go ahead and lead us out?
Yeah. Like usual, if you like the show, please leave us a rating and a review. It helps us out a lot, obviously. We get a lot of listeners. We get ideas from that too, so, send us some emails. We got an email at podcast@rippleeffectsmp.com. Tweet us. We're reachable over there. We got a Discord channel. We got a few people joining yet. We'd like to see some more people. There's a direct Q&A channel. We can hang out and you can just get into contact with us personally if you like that. That's
okay. This show has been brought to you by Bank, myself, and also our digital producer, Carl. Carl, thanks for coming on and getting withered with us.
It's been an absolute pleasure, guys.
Yep. Carl also helps make sure the show ends up where it's supposed to be and not some random section of the internet where maybe you can buy body parts. We won't bring that up. And this show has also used some amazing music from our friend Decoy. He does the intro and outro. Give Decoy a lot of love. Both Carl and Decoy's links can be found down in the show notes with Banks and mine also. And like always, guys, thank you so much for getting withered with us. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
See ya later.
Bye.